Hello to the 20 people who listen to this podcast. I'm Deep Fried Neurons, and this is a podcast about things that I find interesting. And I don't really have a lot of time to waste. I'm really counting how much I can use my voice today. So, cue the fucking. Shout out to early morning birds ruining my recording early in the morning. As if they're entitled to be themselves in a time of day where they're known to be themselves. Also, all the traffic outside. Somehow, I live in a private society, and there's more traffic in the morning than ever. I don't know how, even on a holiday like today. Oh, by the way, it's Thursday morning that I'm recording in. And guess what? Your boy's got tonsillitis, which is why I couldn't record for all this time. My throat still hurts while I'm talking. But, well, I thought I should talk to you guys. It makes me feel nice. It's like therapy for me. This is a very narcissistic version of the same. And getting to which, I wanted to talk about the Dhokla theory. Now, think about this. For the last 5 years, Narendra Modi has been in office, right? And Amit Shah has been the kingmaker of Narendra Modi. So we have two Mota Bhais in like government. Considering the fact that Mota Bhai is always watching you, don't you think they're doing some mind control shit? Like, I don't know if how many of you have been following my podcast regularly, but episode 16 or 14, or one of those, deals with MK Ultra, which is a very serious human rights violation that the American government engaged in along with the Canadian government. And it was about one of the most serious mind fucks that I've ever had in my life. And the fact that they did that is sort of fucks with me every day. I don't know about you. If you found out mind control exists and somebody tried to perfect it, how would you feel? Is my question. Not great, I'm assuming, but well, people are different. I don't fucking know. Some of you could be some Aldous Huxley doomsday prepper people who like mind control and would like to achieve environmental sustainability with mind control or something like that. And that's not my idea. Somebody told me that idea, so well, think of it what you may. Oh, goddamn, my throat hurts. Anyway, so Narendra Modi and Amit Shah have been in office for all this time. Don't you think they're developing some kind of a mind control experiment to take over the world? Like, you guys have no doubts about the fact that them, along with all the other good Jews who've ever existed, are going to together take over the world. And there's a reason why I say that, because when it comes to distribution and manufacturing, the good Jews are leading in the world, especially distribution. You go to Canada, you go to America, half the distribution businesses are owned by Patels, which is mind-boggling. Is it not to you? Because of all Indians, after Punjabis, you see good Jews everywhere. There are more Gujratis outside the country than ever. I remember I was 13 and I was visiting my cousins in Pennsylvania, USA, and her last name also starts with P. I don't remember exactly what it is, but I do remember that everybody after her is a Patel. There's about 13 to 14 Patels in her fucking class. And I was like, what? This is only the Patels. The others haven't even kicked in yet. And that sort of boggled my mind, really. Okay, I think 4 minutes into the recording and I've not gotten to the point. Basically, what I'm trying to tell you is that there's too many Gujaratis to be comfortable with everywhere in the planet. And too many of them own too much distribution and business module. Not that it's a bad thing. This is not... I think this is going in some state prejudice area, which I don't want it to go in. But here's the thing. Hear me out. If you're Gujarati, especially listen to me. Now, considering that there are so many good Jews out there, and one of the biggest nuclear powers and 7th biggest country in the world is covered by two Mota Bhais altogether, do you guys not believe that at some point they're gonna start taking over shit? I actually have a theory as to how they're gonna do it. Uh, and before I get into how they're gonna take over the world, I gotta give a shout out to a friend of mine. I think she's not listening to this podcast. I don't think she's heard it in a very long time. We were in college and this theory came up while we were texting about how it would be like if Narendra Modi threw a Garba party. And I don't know, man. I wasn't intoxicated at all when this was being discussed, and still this was a pretty fun conversation, and we came up with this theory. Now, I genuinely believe that at some point, all the Gujaratis are gonna make the most potent dhokla ever. The reason I say dhokla is because I understand that jalebi fafda has like an upper edge, but it doesn't have a Gujarati identity. There is a lot of good jalebi in Rajasthan as well. Dhokla by itself, like Khaman dhokla in Gujarat, has its own identity. It's distinctly Gujarati, and it's a Gujarati dish that's very well known as well. Like every halwai I've ever known who's been Gujarati makes the most amazing dhokla in the town. I don't know if I should say this, but in the town I was growing up in, there was only one really famous mithai shop. I mean, there were others, but they were famous for bhaje or Chinese triplet or samosas. But there's only this one guy who made the most amazing dhokla in the town, and I would ask my mom to get that every Independence Day when she used to, treat the staff or whatever. So that's why I think dhokla is the key. Also, I believe that if you snort dhokla and khamans in your veins, you get extra worked. If you guys never tried snorting dhokla, I genuinely recommend it. You have no idea what you're missing out on. I know the mire, like, what do you call mire in English? Black pepper. The black pepper will hurt your nose, like your nostrils, but trust me, the experience is worth it. The high you get after snorting some dhokla is amazing. Shout out to Ultramarine Arcade for letting me borrow that joke. Follow him on Instagram if you want. But at the same time, snorting dhokla. So I believe that in Navratri, when's Narendra Modi's next post ending? 2019, 2024. In 2024, when Navratri arrives, and it's the last year, BJP does well, BJP doesn't do well, it's not like it matters, they're gonna get elected anyway, we saw that. BJP gets elected, doesn't get elected, they'll throw the most extravagant Garba party in the world, and they'll introduce their dhokla. Now, there's something special about this dhokla. You eat the dhokla and instantly, eat or snort the dhokla, snorting would work much faster, and it instantly makes you break into Garba. That's unstoppable. You get Garba Tourette's, if you get my drift. After you get Garba, the Gujaratis move in the military. They just rush past you doing Garba. They take over all the shit all across the world. Imagine this. For example, Patel Distributors Canada is transporting Gujju soldiers everywhere. And eventually, they've taken over the Canadian government first, then the American government, then the British government. These are places I know there are Gujaratis in. The others, maybe there are more, and they'll help us take over more shit, and that's how that would work. That's it, people. That's all I have for this week. Make sure to support us on Patreon, like, share, subscribe this video. If you're listening to it on Spotify, thank you so much for tuning in. Not just Spotify, I'm not specifically saying just Spotify. Any other device that you're listening to or on any other platform, I'm really glad that you tune in and you're the best part of my day. The other thing, I know I promised a Doom gameplay, which is not happening. I'm so sorry. I just got bored. I finished the game once, and the campaign is just not worth playing again on a higher difficulty. Not to mention that I suck at the game. So I found a game that I suck more at, and that's the one we'll be playing. How does that sound to you guys? Good, right? Cool. I'm gonna go. I'll see you guys next week. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna make that promise. It's been 12 days since I last uploaded. But I will see you soon. I know the podcast episodes have been irregular. I'm still committed to making them though. Trust me on this one. Please. Thank you. Bye.